Leading SUNY Oswego's 156th commencement procession is the Mace Bearer. The mace is a symbol of authority and of the importance of this event. The Mace Bearer, Dr. Lisa M. Glidden, is the chairperson of SUNY Oswego Faculty Assembly and Program Director for SUNY Oswego's Global and International Studies program. Following the Mace Bearer, a retiring faculty member, James Molinari, Professor of Marketing and Management. The undergraduate candidates in gold gowns are summa cum laude honor students from the School of Business. They have achieved SUNY Oswego's highest recognition for their dedication, their academic preparation, and their outstanding overall grade point averages. Now entering the Convocation Hall are undergraduate candidates for degrees from the School of Business. To keep pace with the rapidly evolving business world, programs in the School of Business integrate classroom learning with advanced computer applications and various forms of applied education, such as case studies, simulations, group projects, and internships. Nationally accredited by AACSB International, the Association to Advance Collegiate Schools of Business, the school offers 7 undergraduate majors and a Master's of Business Administration program, as well as 3 5-year combined Bachelor's MBA degree programs, 1 in accounting, 1 in broadcasting and mass communication, and 1 in psychology. Candidates for master's degrees from the School of Business are now entering the Convocation Hall. SUNY Oswego offers more than 24 graduate degrees and certificate programs to more than 900 students. Our graduate students have pursued coursework and research with Oswego's distinguished faculty in their pursuit of advanced learning and professional coursework. The Division of Graduate Studies' aim is to provide an environment in which qualified students may join a competent faculty in the quest for advanced learning. The graduate program is conducted through academic coursework and research that leads students toward professional enrichment and scholarly achievement. The distinguished faculty and Emerita faculty of the State University of New York at Oswego are now joining the procession. Our distinguished faculty include several Fulbright scholars, leaders in their fields conducting millions of dollars in funded research, and most importantly, they are caring mentors who have made a difference in the lives of your students. The Commencement Platform Party is entering the Convocation Hall. The Platform Party consists of the officers of the college, representatives from the SUNY Oswego College Council, and completing the Platform Party is Deborah F. Stanley, the 10th President of SUNY Oswego.
By authorization of the State University of New York Board of Trustees, the College Council, and the college faculty, I declare the 156th commencement of the State University of New York at Oswego to be in session. Please rise for the singing of the national anthem led by Angela Russell. Gentlemen, please remove your caps.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight
Please be seated. I would like to introduce the members of the platform party. From my left, in the second row, Interim Dean of Graduate Studies, Mary Toll, Dean of Extended Learning, Jill Pippin, Associate Vice President for Student Affairs and Dean of Students, Jerry Howland, Vice President for Administration and Finance, Nicholas Lyons. In the front row, College Council member Michael Goldich, Acting Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Walter Rutger. From my right, in the second row, President of the Student Association, current, Emily Nassir. Dean of the School of Business, Richard Skolnick. Interim Vice President for Development and Alumni Relations, Mary Canali. In the front row, College Council member Darlene Baker. Guest speaker, President and Chief Operating Officer of Pathfinder Bank, Thomas Schneider. President of the college, Deborah F. Stanley. And I am Chair of the Faculty Assembly, Lisa M. Glidden. I now give you Deborah F. Stanley, President of the State University of New York at Oswego.
Welcome to SUNY Oswego's 156th commencement ceremony. Yeah. This is a day of well-earned and joyful celebration for you and all of your loved ones. Graduation is a rich tradition that recognizes the achievement, hard work, and sacrifices of our graduates and of all of you in the audience, parents, spouses, children, supporters. You have all contributed in order to arrive at this day. This gathering, one of the most important days on our academic year, celebrates the core mission of our college. This momentous rite of passage, alternately solemn and jubilant, marks a milestone in each of our lives. Candidates, as you listen to our speakers today, take away their insight as well as their good wishes. Reflect carefully on your own personal and intellectual growth since you first walked across campus. And above all, enjoy this well-deserved celebration of your great achievement. Congratulations. I now give you Darlene Baker from the College Council.
On behalf of the SUNY Oswego College Council, it is with great pleasure that we extend greetings to the Oswego class of 2017 and to your proud families, friends, professors, and distinguished members of the platform party. Graduates, allow me to be among the first to welcome you to your life after college. May your Oswego degree be your passport to the future and help guide you on your continuing quest for knowledge in a world filled with promise and opportunity. You will now join a 156-year succession of Oswego alumni. Thousands have flowed out from this college to forge productive lives in this state, around the nation, and around the world. Now it is your turn. Those who have gone before you set a standard of success that should give you confidence. At the same time, it is a standard that you can aspire to surpass. Today, we offer our wholehearted congratulations on a job well done and a warm wish of good luck as you venture out from here. As you look out onto the expansive and magnificent views of Lake Ontario from this grand vantage point, etch this inspiring horizon in your mind and carry it with you to help guide and inspire you on your personal journey to a meaningful, happy, and productive life. Congratulations and good luck. I now give you Emily Nassir, who will deliver remarks on behalf of the student body.
Okay. Good afternoon. Okay. SUNY Oswego is often compared to the movie The Wizard of Oz. Dorothy, the protagonist, is abruptly taken to a faraway land and spends the entirety of her journey longing to return home. She makes great friends along the way, and though she must overcome the obstacle of the Wicked Witch of the West, she is finally granted the opportunity to return home in the end. Like Dorothy, though not abruptly, we were taken to an unfamiliar place and have spent years working to reach the end goal of returning home. We've made great friends along the way, and we've been faced with many obstacles in our efforts. But perhaps, unlike Dorothy, as we reach the end of our journey, we are not fleeing to our only home. We are simply saying goodbye to what has become our second one. To the platform party, family, friends, faculty, staff, and to the class of 2017, welcome and thank you for sharing in this momentous occasion with me and my fellow graduates. To speak at our graduation and be able to reflect with you fills me with the greatest pride I could ever imagine, and I hope that you too feel a sense of pride in yourselves as we come together today for what really is a great celebration. Whether you've been counting down to this day or you've been heavily dreading it, I know that there is a part of all of us that truly cannot believe we are already here. We're in our caps and gowns, our names are waiting to be called as we walk across this stage, and our diplomas are waiting to be mailed out. It's really time for us to say, see you later, and move on to the next stage in our lives. Being in this space with you makes me think about what makes Oswego truly special. I think about Lake Ontario and eating Rudy's or Bev's while watching the sunset. I think about the Flat Rocks. I think about the hockey games and how hysterically aggressive we are because of our deep-rooted passion for art teams in our school. It'll be hard for us to not immediately put our arm around the person next to us and sing our hearts out to Sweet Caroline when it comes on anywhere outside of this arena. I think about the infamous Oz chicken patty. I think about the fact that no matter how many lots are created, there will never be a place to park on this campus. I think about the dumbfounding magic of being able to experience all 4 seasons in one single day. I think about how 1/4 of our campus population is made up entirely of geese. I think about being a proud Laker, though I'm still unsure of what a Laker truly is. And I think about my friends, my memories, my experiences, and how much I wish I could have 4 years to go back and do it all again. I think about the organization that changed my life, and I think about the people that changed my life. And soon, I'll think about this day and how we closed out our years together. We should be incredibly proud of ourselves today. Look in the mirror when you go home and let yourself smile with pride that you're a college graduate, despite whatever obstacles you may have had attempting to stand in your way. Many of us aren't where we thought we would be at this point, and it can either be a hard reality or a pleasant surprise. Perhaps some of us changed course during our years here, and maybe in doing so, we became more authentically ourselves, rather than following the path that others thought we should or would be on. Or maybe we came here worried about whether we could pass our classes, make real friends, and thrive. And as our diplomas prove, we have achieved, despite anyone else's or our own expectations. No matter how or who you thought you would be when you walked across this stage, what matters simply is that we're walking across this stage. And that's something to truly celebrate. Celebrate who you are and who you've become. Be your biggest ally and your #1 fan. Cherish your uniqueness. Be proud of what makes you different and make the most of what excites you. As we move on into the next phase of our lives, we should all remember that we are worth the opportunities that we seek. We can make a difference, and it's up to us to reach out, listen, and continue to work hard to achieve the lives and futures that we want for ourselves. And while we do all of those things, we should remember to utilize the people around us who are willing to guide, support, and mentor us in whatever we choose to do. One of my greatest mentors and support systems is my grandma. She taught me that in everything we do, we must be mindful of 3 keys to success. The first is to stay positive in times of uneasiness or change. The second is to not take the hook when others doubt you or your abilities. Instead, prove them wrong. And the third is to play to win. As she would say, whatever you do, do it excellently. We feel a lot of pressure as we grow up and move into the real world. And if there's anything about life that my grandma has taught me beyond her 3 steps to success, it's that if you change one person's life, it's as if you've changed the world. Changing the world doesn't have to be serving as the President of the United States. It doesn't have to be earning a national honor, and it doesn't have to be becoming the next Steve Jobs or Gandhi. To me, what it can be is impacting one person's life for the better. We should use the knowledge and experiences that we've gained at SUNY Oswego to go out into the world and change someone's life in whatever way that's most meaningful to each of us. And as we go out and change the world, we all need to remember that it takes a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, and as we've learned here, a lot of resilience. And if you stay positive, don't take the hook, and play to win, my grandma would tell you that you can accomplish anything, even changing the world. Our journey may not have had a yellow brick road, and our lessons might not have come from a Tin Man, lion, or scarecrow, but in our land of Oz, our spirit is our own, and from hockey to sunsets, there's no place like home. Congratulations to the class of 2017. Thank you. I now give you Walter Rutger, Acting Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs.
Thank you, Emily. A tough act to follow, I might add. SUNY Oswego enjoys a long relationship with nearby Fort Drum and various veteran groups in central New York. We are dedicated to providing a welcoming and supportive environment for our veterans and our military students, and our college is enriched by their presence. Active duty soldiers, members of the National Guard and Reserve, and military veterans graduating today are wearing red, white, and blue cords to signify their service. Would students wearing red, white, and blue cords, and anyone else, including family and guests, who have served in our nation's armed forces, please stand? Thank you for your service. It is now my pleasure and privilege to recognize our retiring faculty and professional staff. Will James Molinari, Professor of Marketing and Management, who has been with the college for 40 years, please rise. You have given great service to the college and the community. We wish to express our deep gratitude for your exemplary contributions to SUNY and to the community. We wish you well in what we hope will be a long, engaging, and productive retirement. And we hope that you will return often to visit us. You'll be greatly missed. I join with your colleagues in wishing you all the best. We are pleased and proud to come together as a community to celebrate all our students' successes as they move to new stages of their lives. We pay special tribute now to those who have achieved high academic honors. Will the graduates of the College Honors Program and the Possibility Scholars please stand and face the audience to accept our congratulations? Will all students who are members of honor societies in their department or college please stand and face the audience to accept our congratulations? Will the cum laude graduates, those students who have achieved a cumulative average of 3.30 to 3.59, please stand and face the audience to accept our congratulations. Will the magna cum laude graduates, those students who have achieved a cumulative average of 3.6 to 3.79, please stand and face the audience to accept our congratulations. Will the summa cum laude graduates, those students who have achieved a cumulative average of 3.8 or above, please stand and face the audience to accept our congratulations. And now, will the parents and spouses and family and friends of all of our graduates please rise and accept our grateful recognition. Finally, will the faculty, emeriti faculty, and professional staff with us today please rise and accept our expression of appreciation for your work.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Thomas Schneider, the President and CEO of Pathfinder Bank, a true friend to SUNY Oswego and a highly respected partner in our local community. Employed by Pathfinder Bank since 1998, Tom Schneider has spent his entire career in the financial service industry. At SUNY Oswego, he teaches a graduate-level finance course, Management of Financial Institutions, a risk-based approach, in the School of Business. He is past chairman of the Oswego Health and currently serves as a board member. He also serves on the boards of Center State CEO, the Richard Shinneman Foundation, WCNY, and the Port of Oswego Authority, and the New York Bankers Association. Tom has previously served on several Central New York community boards, some of which include Cornell Cooperative Extension Small Business Program, the Greater Oswego Chamber of Commerce, and the United Way of Oswego County. He has a bachelor's in economics from SUNY Cortland, we'll forgive you for that, and a Master of Business Administration degree from Fairfield University. Please help me in welcoming our commencement speaker today, Mr. Thomas Schneider.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much, President Stanley. I'm very appreciative of your introduction and your gracious invitation. How you all feeling today? Good? You look great from here. You look like a lot of people from here, so I'm a little nervous, and you'll have to forgive me. But I really am profoundly honored to be here, with you today and before you today. Honored because of how much I admire this college, its leadership, faculty and staff, and really its immensely positive impact on our community. I'm also grateful to be a small part of the School of Business headed by Dean Richard Skolnick, along with committed, thoughtful, and caring faculty and staff. But I'm mostly honored to be here because of you. I'm very proud of who you are, proud that I'm provided the opportunity to be a small part of your life and experience. If I were merely a banker, my life wouldn't be as full, without my privilege to work with you here at this college, in the classroom, and more importantly, in the greater community. I've had the opportunity and privilege to work with you beyond the course I instruct, in the community and on campus with organizations such as your Student Association, Enactus, the Investment Club, and I'm consistently proud of your work, and I also learn from the experience. I take pride in being part of this college, and you should take pride too. Pride in the name on the top of your diploma, because this school has a very high and renowned reputation. This college and school's strengths are built on inclusion and diversity, and I see that before me now, and it's important. I'm profoundly honored, and I thought I should say something profound, and I kind of reflected on this, and I thought, I don't know what that means. So I'm going to rely on what I do know, to be honest and genuine. Because being honest will never fail you, and being genuine will never fail you. Over the past 2 years, I've become increasingly concerned about the discord and the divide I see in our nation, affecting our core institutions of representational government and open economy that you will enter. We have challenges before us. I will limit the scope to that which I know, the business world in this country, and more specifically, our corporations. Pathfinder Bank is a publicly traded corporation, registered with the SEC and trading on NASDAQ. I firmly believe that publicly traded corporations have a responsibility to our economy and our society that goes beyond merely our responsibility to our shareholders. I believe it is our responsibility to make decisions and investments that promote the long-term growth and sustainability of our economy. Providing value to shareholders in an economy that does not sustain itself and is subject to cyclical failure erodes shareholders' long-term value and erodes the value of our very society. Today, the business world and the economy you are entering or further immersing yourself into, and which you will ultimately lead, is stronger than it has been since 2008. That strength will be to your benefit as opportunities become more abundant and values rise. Workforce development, recruitment, retention may be the most significant factors facing companies today, so your presence and your efforts will be welcome and rewarded. But this is just the current cycle, and the duration and strength of these cycles are tenuous. Too often, false optimism crowds out rational judgment. Try not to get distracted by all the noise, and there's just an incredible amount of noise from so many different areas coming at us, and look for those larger trends that portend the future. You know, really the largest trend facing our society and our economy today is demographic shift. It's important, and our response to it hasn't been, I think, as good as it can be. You know, we have had and will continue to have cyclical failure because, in my opinion, there are some fundamental flaws in the system that we have developed. And frankly, I represent and I have participated in the perpetuation of some of these flaws. But more recently, I've allowed myself to be challenged without being as defensive as I was, because I'm more confident. In that challenge, I've questioned and studied and applied my knowledge and experience to question some of the belief systems formed early in my career. And I've found that there are good truths in that belief system, but there are also myths. It is a perpetuation without challenge of these myths that has created some of the fundamental or systemic flaws that have manifested themselves so strongly over the last few years and have affected me deeply. I regret that I did not recognize some of these sooner in my career. You know, one of these myths is that we have equal opportunity in a free and open economy. But when I look at my organization, my failure to develop strategy to be intentionally inclusive and intentionally seek diversity has led to leadership disproportionately comprised of men, and frankly white men, unbalanced against the population of our customers, and I found that we are less informed by the narrowness of our shared experience. I've looked at our compensation structure, and I see disparate treatment between men and women with the same responsibilities. I've had to look hard and long in the mirror and face these truths which dispel the myth. I'm determined to do better, I must do better, and I will do better. But I see across my industry and corporate America either those unwilling to challenge themselves or those who nod to the concepts and then take less than intentional actions. Do not get me wrong, you will see a diverse workforce as you enter the business world. It is the climb to leadership that has this bias that's really not a conscious one, but it exists. And this isn't just about moral fairness or correctness. It's really about the ability to build greater value and a sustainable economy. We should not assume that what is just is and will be, for history clearly shows that any nation that excludes too many, amasses abundance in too few, fails the test of our evolution and has consistently faced revolution. History tells us that. And the strains are there today in our society, and history is prologue. But we can still write the story of our future. And before me, you, is my optimism. Before me is my trust. Before me is my confidence in our future. You will do better because your life experiences have shown you the power of what we can do together. I remember a few months ago walking out of the Shinneman Center, a meeting room in there, and into a large group of fully engaged, energized, and diverse students who clearly enjoyed where they were and enjoyed each other and their shared experience, and it was inspiring. There will be a time and a place for you to challenge our systems to be better. You're uniquely positioned to challenge from within the business world, while others challenge from outside of it. But this is not the time and place for you to do that. First, you need to work within the framework provided and build your value, build your credibility, and become the leaders that take us to a more enlightened future. So starting out, gain your value. Gain it by simply being valuable to those you work for. If they find you valuable, they will have to value you. If they find you invaluable, they will have to value you greatly. Please remember that. Do this by helping to solve. Understand what those you work for want and try to deliver, not just data, but the interpretation of what that means, transforming it into information and knowledge and solution. Solve. Always be solving. Most around you will simply provide the data. Go further. Be present. Be genuine. Respect in order to be respected. Gain your credibility. Continue to be a student, a pursuer of knowledge. Study your industry, study your company, know its values and its vision, and deliver into them. Know its customers and their needs and solve for those needs. Before you question others, question yourself. Be proud of what you produce by taking pride in what you do, as you are proud of your accomplishments today. Evolve from where you are today to what you want to be by being open to challenge from others and being willing to challenge yourself. Do not cling to what you have learned, but use it as a base to learn more. Engage, be active in your industry and in your community. I see too many who stop learning too early and continue forward from a base of knowledge that is too limited. They limit themselves by failing to evolve into their fuller selves. Come into your fullness. And do not be afraid then to respectfully ask for your value, particularly for women. You are still being undervalued in terms of compensation, in terms of leadership, and in terms of creating the flexibility in business for family. The thoughts I share with you today come from my own deep engagement in my industry on a national level. I am neither liberal nor conservative. I'm a businessman and a banker, with a responsibility to build value for shareholders, customers, employees, and community, and my thoughts today align fully with that responsibility and that purpose, and I will continue to strive to gain my credibility. So gain your credibility through your efforts, experience, and knowledge. Work within the system but be bound by a set of principles and values that you will strive to not violate. Then lead. Develop a leadership philosophy, and remember this: leadership is either inspirational to those you lead, aspirational for those you lead, or both. And myself, I'm still on a journey to leadership. Know your purpose of your career, know your purpose of your customer. Ask why it is important, what we do, and for who. There is still a style out there that manages by trying to break you down and toughen you up. It does not lead with respect, with compassion, with care. It is not leadership. Leadership cannot be achieved through fear. That only creates anxiety and erodes productivity. It is the insecure who push out tough, believe me. It is the secure and the strong here who put forth respect and compassion. Understand the difference. There's also science supporting the thoughts I share. Studies on neurological science and business culture have shown that with aligned purpose, trust, and feeling valued, the brain emits significantly higher levels of oxytocins. We feel good, and we produce, and we do it with passion and purpose. I stole that line, I'm sorry. That might be copyrighted, but it comes from... When this country was founded, it was built upon concepts that emerged in the Age of Enlightenment. Representational government, with John Locke as a leading philosopher. The free and open market-based economy, capitalism. Adam Smith published The Wealth of Nations in 1776, our leading initial economic doctrine of free and open markets, right at the time of the founding of our nation. I passionately love and believe in our systems of government and economy. But after being developed on enlightened principles, I wonder how we got where we are today. Where is the Enlightenment? What I see and hear are the actions and sounds of division and discord. Surely we can and must do better. The basic principle at the core of Adam Smith's economic theory is that it is in our human nature to act in our own self-interest, and I believe this to be true. But Adam Smith was not an economist. He was a moral philosopher. And if he were here with us today, I think that he would say, self-interest does not mean me. For surely it is in my self-interest for my family to do well. It is in my self-interest for my community to do well. It is in my self-interest for my economy to do well, and it is my self-interest for our system to be sustained. This economy was built in a post-World War II environment, frankly, by people who look like I do now. Our rules, our game board. My generation has not evolved it as much as we have perpetuated it. In the formation of society, we moved from scarcity to surplus to abundance. What are we doing with that abundance to relieve the scarcity of others? Instead, we define self-interest as me. And we've created a system that accumulates capital for too few, usually those already within the game who know the roles. Intentionally or unintentionally, consciously or unconsciously, the system has not worked for society as well as it could. We have excluded people in our leadership, women, people of color, by not consciously and intentionally including. We have no self-regulatory structure, and in that absence, the government imposes regulation. We object to this intrusion, and as those regulations are imposed, we make them our ceilings. Affirmative action, Americans with Disabilities Act, in my industry, the Community Investment Act. We make them our ceilings, and we comply. If we had enlightened self-regulation of publicly traded corporations, perhaps these would be our floors, and would be more whole, and we would build greater value. You know, in all business and investments, and some of you have learned this quite clearly, you know, particularly those in the investment club, concentration builds risk, and diversification lowers risk. And so in the economy, it is also true. Diversity is strength. Our nation that I love and respect so much was founded on great enlightened principles, but it was also founded on a terrible compromise. That compromise violated the virtuous concept that we are all created equal. Let us be truthful with ourselves, solve together, and build trust in our nation's values and trust in each other. I think to myself about whether I am giving my full measure, a term I find unworthy in the context I'm about to provide it, but strive towards. I take it from President Abraham Lincoln in the Gettysburg Address. He said, "It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion." Let us honor all of those who gave their full measure of devotion to our freedoms and our institutions by together being willing to give our full measure. I am confident that you will. So as you leave here, build your value with assets, but make sure someday you feel your value with passion and purpose for what you do. My warmest regards and congratulations to all of you, and thank you very much.
I now give you our Dean of Graduate Studies, Mary Toll.
Candidates for the master's degree and the graduate certificate, please rise. Madam President, I have the honor to present these candidates for the master's degree and the graduate certificate.
By the authority vested in me and the University of the State of New York, the Board of Trustees, and the faculty of the college, I confer on you the master's degree or the graduate certificate and invest you with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereunto. To signify this honor, master's degree graduates will have the hood bestowed upon them. Congratulations.
Graduate degree and graduate certificate recipients, please come forward to be hooded. Family and guests are requested to hold their applause until all names are read. The hood's coloring and size represents the type and subject of degree earned, as well as the institution from which it was awarded. The interior lining of the hood, generally satin, is worn so as to display the colors of the institution from which the wearer received the degree. The trim, the outer edge of the cowl, is trimmed in velvet or velveteen. The width of the trim is 3.5 inches for the master's degree. The color of the velvet hood trimming is distinctive of the academic field to which the degree earned pertains. The length of the hood will vary with the level of academic achievement as well. Masters wear a 3.5-foot length.
Matthew Hathaway, Master of Business Administration, Public Accounting, 5-year program. Kevin Kenya, Masters of Business Administration, Public Accounting, 5-year program. Christian Diaz, Master of Business Administration, Public Accounting, 5-year program. Tracy Sanchez, Master of Business Administration, Public Accounting, 5-year program. Joseph DeFranco, Master of Business Administration, Public Accounting, 5-year program. Danielle Danheim, Master of Business Administration, Public Accounting, 5-year program. Charlene Assam, Masters of Business Administration, Public Accounting, 5-year program.
Samantha Wyatt, Master of Business Administration, Public Accounting.
Kayla Kelly, Graduate Certificate, Nursing Home Administration.
Hunter Snowmaro, Master of Business Administration, Management.
Danielle Labie, Master of Business Administration, Management.
Allison Mondo, Master of Business Administration, Public Accounting.
Caitlin Mitchell, Master of Business Administration, Public Accounting, 5-year program. Lindsay DiGiacomo, Master of Business Administration, Public Accounting, 5-year program. Caitlin Thomas, Master of Business Administration, Public Accounting, 5-year program. Amanda Lattimore, Master of Business Administration, Public Accounting, 5-year program.
Stacy Malmstrom, Master of Business Administration, Public Accounting, 5-year program.
Chunwan Lau, Master of Business Administration, Management.
Anj Lee, Master of Business Administration, Management.
Qiufen Zhuang, Master of Business Administration, Public Accounting, 5-year program.
Allison Burnett, Master of Business Administration, Broadcasting Management, 5-year program.
Alexander Blaze, Master of Business Administration, Public Accounting, 5-year program.
Michael Lucarelli, Master of Business Administration, Public Accounting.
Dylan Nowimski, Master of Business Administration, Public Accounting, 5-year program.
Aaron Whiting, Master of Business Administration, Management.
Shung Peng, Master of Business Administration, Management.
Andrew Barton, Master of Business Administration, Management.
Ryan Dady, Master of Business Administration, Management.
Matthew Murphy, Master of Business Administration, Public Accounting, 5-year program.
Veronica Clavel, Master of Business Administration, Management.
Joseph Troya, Master of Business Administration, Management.
Emily Karzis, Master of Business Administration, Public Accounting, 5-year program.
Timothy Horrigan, Master of Business Administration, Public Accounting, 5-year program.
Anthony DeMarco, Master of Business Administration, Management.
Timothy Lincoln, Master of Business Administration, Management.
Please join me once again in offering congratulations to the graduates. I now give you Richard Skolnick, Dean of the School of Business.
Candidates for the baccalaureate degree in the School of Business, please rise. Madam President, I have the honor to present these candidates for the baccalaureate degree.
By the authority vested in me by the University of the State of New York, the Board of Trustees, and the faculty of the college, I confer on you the baccalaureate degree and invest you with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereunto. To signify this honor, move your tassel from right to left. Congratulations.
Baccalaureate degree graduates, please come forward to receive congratulations from your dean and the president. Families and guests are requested to hold their applause until all the names are read.
Hi, Richard. How are you?
Justin Jarecki, summa cum laude.
Holly Ruttmeyer, summa cum laude.
Daniel Burke, summa cum laude.
John Herron, summa cum laude.
Mark Preziosa, summa cum laude.
Zachary Malidi, summa cum laude.
Christopher Bankard, summa cum laude.
Chi Chang Ku, summa cum laude.
Danielle Benigno, summa cum laude.
Yibei He, summa cum laude.
Sky Ke, summa cum laude.
Ryan Fitzpatrick, summa cum laude.
Abigail Boyce, summa cum laude.
Xie Shen, summa cum laude.
Aaron Donnelly, summa cum laude.
Marcus McPhee Walters.
Dawn Rush, Human Resource Management.
Alex Koski, Human Resource Management.
Michael Paololo, Human Resource Management.
Alexis Hull.
Alexander Allen.
Crystal Miller.
Giovanna Salih.
Franklin Pulano.
Drew Gerhardt.
Matthew Cohen.
Thomas DeJohn.
Travis Maron.
Kelsey Thomas, magna cum laude.
Heather Owen Robinson.
Jessica Butchin.
Michelle Moreno.
Stephen Guvakis.
Nicole Santa Maria, magna cum laude.
Brooke Zabo.
Lubna Siddiqui.
Priscilla Deborah.
Akez. Kayana Akez.
Penda Diop. Patrick Miravel. Alex George, magna cum laude.
Justin Kelly.
Meg O'Brien. Caitlin Zimmerman, cum laude.
Colin Sickles.
Devin Derner, cum laude.
Jake Johnson.
Ben Daniels.
Matthew Cuaccio.
Alec Basehart. Jennifer Javons, cum laude.
Melissa Bent.
Kelly Kalishoff, magna cum laude.
Ciencibella. Ashley Ciencibella, cum laude.
Jacob Zive.
John Colwell.
Nicholas Lapola.
Hagag. Justin Hagag.
Scott Cooper, cum laude.
Allison Derby.
John Gurgley.
Jack Schnitzer.
Caitlin Slatcher.
Sarah Christensen.
Brianna Sweeney, cum laude.
Moretti. Benjamin Moretti.
Larissa Martin.
Emily Notaro.
Emily Shackleton.
Okay. Justice Usborne, cum laude, College Honors Program.
Kathy Johnston, magna cum laude.
Congratulations, Kathy. Sean McCabe.
Kayla Summel.
Madison Beckley, magna cum laude.
Tall Gordon, cum laude.
Jonathan Fowler.
Cedrone.
Connor Smith.
Colin Campbell.
Kyle West.
Nicholas Epping.
Kaylee Newman.
Juliana Jardin.
Bridget Rooney, cum laude.
Carolyn Kelly.
Georgienne Labarge.
Brian Torsha.
Magro. Brody Magro.
Jonathan Runji, magna cum laude.
Harrison Reber.
Burke Hazachi, cum laude.
Corey Dennison, cum laude.
Dylan Jordan Morja.
Alexander Gillingham.
Eric Grills, cum laude.
Jackson Haber.
Jeffrey Palmer.
Renee McDonald, cum laude.
Megan McShane, cum laude.
Nicole Juliares.
Sarah Anzalone.
Nicholas Jones.
James Parisi.
Alex Anderson, cum laude.
Peter Ianello.
Vincent Sutera, cum laude.
Louis Cohen.
Evan Moore.
Luke Durland.
Ted McCarthy, magna cum laude.
Colton Price.
Connor Stump.
Luke Stapleton.
Bridget Sherlock, cum laude.
Anthony Pesci.
Justin Yokati, cum laude.
Jeff Allen, magna cum laude.
Nicholas Delgazo, cum laude.
Dylan Julian.
Markel Bedrosian, cum laude.
Timothy Duchesne.
Matthew Peters, magna cum laude.
Brendan Wormley, cum laude.
James Albright.
Andrew Scott, cum laude.
Marissa Mamarello.
Ryan Rabideau.
Connor Flaherty, magna cum laude.
Chad Owusu, cum laude.
Yusef Akhtar.
Jonathan Yukin.
Sean Charles.
Brianna Kimball.
Jane Polak.
Sarah Adamo.
Caitlin Billings.
Anna Eusebio.
Yekaterina Bassman.
Anthony Hernandez.
Dylan Hertel.
Brandy Freytag, cum laude.
Gina Wallace.
Jacqueline Petro, cum laude.
Angela Sabotka.
Kristen Needham.
Michael Jocelyn.
Matthew Creever.
Devin Molt.
Alexander Vickery.
Jeremiah Noyd.
Abigail Phillips, magna cum laude.
Lindsay Royce, summa cum laude.
Taylor Landau, cum laude.
Alexander Brown.
Nicholas Hoskin.
Kevin Coleman, magna cum laude.
Christopher Waterstreet.
John Hart, cum laude.
Alex Botten.
Adrian Ignani.
Stephen Johnson, cum laude.
Kenneth Neal.
Joseph Davies.
Thank you. Sean Hulshoff, cum laude.
Ryan Ringwood. Peter Cummings.
Sean Maloney.
Matthew McMullen.
Sean Biggie.
Eric Shear, cum laude.
Patrick Caruso, cum laude.
Matthew Crockett.
Taylor Howell.
Briley Cahill.
Kevin Riley.
Timothy Garrett, cum laude.
Wyatt Russo.
Michael Vanderhoof.
Joseph Nochi.
Tyler Fay.
Theodore Damos.
Erica Trushke.
Alexandra Izzo.
Kelsey Henderson.
Alexander Brown.
Andrew Morano.
Brandon Schultzke.
Luke Riesbeck, cum laude.
Ryan Franz, cum laude.
Jesse Romano.
Neil Brennan.
Sloan Dieter, cum laude.
Michael Chewins, cum laude.
Jordan Schutz, cum laude.
Nathaniel Demari.
Andrew Rockefeller.
Lingam Wu.
Hongying Chu, cum laude.
Alex Kressner.
Alex Pettit.
Kevin Sheridan.
Destiny Cleveland.
Javier Fernandez.
Danielle Baumgart.
Rachel Muncie.
Wanakusuvia Corey.
Ashane Deminda.
Melissa Mulvaney.
Caitlin Rowley, cum laude.
Dylan Galusha, cum laude.
Jacob Yanklowski, cum laude.
Emma Moriarty.
Lindsay Champito.
Liam McAleer. Megan Rose.
Nicholas Jordan, cum laude.
Reed Kelly, cum laude.
Annalise Crescenzo.
Emma Connors.
Rachel Musengo, cum laude.
Gage Gemmin.
Nicholas Califano.
Samuel Andrew Mitchell.
Michael Seeley.
David Smith.
Cassidy Liljeblad.
Anthony Gentile.
Timothy Rich.
Sophia Masiero.
Mava Regad.
Jake Ford, cum laude.
Michael Ram.
Ryan Holmes. Jansen Mercado.
Peter Dodge.
Nicholas Schneller, cum laude.
Sean Breslin.
Melanie Krug.
Richard Carpentier.
David DeLand.
Robert Colivas.
Jason Brown.
Samantha Lind.
Kathleen Regan.
Jillian Primicius, cum laude.
German Lucaro, cum laude.
Stuart Capps.
Jolan Williams.
Derek Hamilton.
Terrence Visalo.
Bernard Douglas.
Christopher Fuller.
Kavon Hall.
Brian Kimball.
Kevin Lubansky.
Nicole Sagresano, magna cum laude.
Justin Nitz.
Paul Murphy.
Joshua Filler.
Quayshawn Parker.
Damian Galindo.
Kyle Beck.
Jonathan Daly.
Carolyn Donnelly, magna cum laude.
Melissa Catrone.
Malik Murray.
Aaron Cassidy.
Ryan Korn.
Samantha Stilson.
Christine Shear.
Jillian Kranz.
Caitlin Morgan, cum laude.
Josh Katrine.
Adam Crum.
Massia. Timothy Massia.
Robert Bierenbach.
Taehoon Jing.
Gabrielle Domian.
Nicole Alvarez, cum laude.
Madison Carr, magna cum laude.
Marty Mandresh.
Ryan Todora.
Matthew DeVolt.
Ashley Stern.
Samantha Bacadis.
Christine Marnice.
Jamie Doherty.
Michael Carbalata.
Alexa Beatrice.
Joseph Savino.
Alex Wapniewski.
Christopher Evans.
Connor Bashaw.
Talia Cavall.
Please join me in offering congratulations to the graduates. I now give you Mary Kennelly, Interim Vice President for Development and Alumni Relations.
In 1886, the Oswego Normal School Alumni Association was formally established at the 25th anniversary of the college. For more than 129 years, the Alumni Association has provided a vital link between 85,000 Oswego alumni and their alma mater through student programs, career networking, alumni events, philanthropic support, and reunions. On this special occasion that launches our newest graduates into the world to carry on the work of our college's founder, Edward Austin Sheldon, Please join me in welcoming Marcus McVie Walters, who will present the alumni banner on behalf of the class of 2017.
On behalf of the Oswego Alumni Association, I'm proud and honored today to welcome the class of 2017, the newest members, into the Oswego Alumni Association. Today, we celebrate the rich history of our proud school and pledge to carry on the legacy of our founder, Edward Austin Shelton. It gives me great pleasure to present to you today, President Stanley, on behalf of the class of 2017, a symbol of our growth, our accomplishment, our futures, and most importantly, our promise to maintain the rich heritage of Oswego and our unique network of more than 85,000 proud alumni who have graduated from this college before us. Mom, Dad, ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2017 banner. Thank you.
It's not a costume, really. It's in honor of Dr. Mary Walker and the faculty in the School of Business who are also donning these top hats today. She was a trailblazer, born in 1832. She passed in 1919. She was trained as a doctor, the first woman trained as a doctor in this area, we believe, maybe throughout the United States. She was trained at the Syracuse University then, School of Medicine, which is now the SUNY School of Medicine, in Syracuse, New York. And she was from Oswego. She passed away in Oswego, and she plied her trade in Oswego, but she worked first in the Civil War. So she was a trailblazer. She was working for her career, but she was also doing things in the common good. So with that, I'll wear this during my last opportunity to address you as your president. So the ceremony, it's almost over. This is a day of celebration. It's also a day of tearful goodbyes sometimes. You've earned the right to be the center of attention, and I know you all know how to do that pretty well. To savor your accomplishments and to reflect on your life to date and the possibilities that lie ahead. You have some big decisions facing you now. Decisions like where will you live, how will you live, what career will you launch? Some of you already know that. The advanced degree you may next pursue, the mark you will make on your communities and on society. And if you listened well to our speaker today, Thomas Schneider, who gave you, I think, one of the most realistic and true and genuine talks that I've heard from this podium. I hope you marked well your path ahead. You have great expectations for yourself, boundless excitement, and an opportunity ahead. It's clear, however, that the world has changed a great deal since you first entered Oswego. For sure, it has advanced in realms of knowledge and discovery, yet there is no doubt we are facing great challenges as well as opportunities. We are shocked and deeply saddened by some world events, significantly unsettled by political unrest, and increasingly concerned with, as you heard earlier, division, distrust, and the conflict that we see around us. This is the world you inherit. It is that way with every rising generation. It's not a world of your making. At least it's not a world of your making yet, but it will be. So as you pack up to leave SUNY Oswego, don't pack it in these daunting times. I give you the words and sentiments of Ralph Johnson Bunch, an American political scientist, academic, diplomat, and Nobel Peace Prize winner, who said, last century, by the way, "To make our way, we must have firm resolve, patience, and tenacity. We can never let up." And that's a message to you. You have tenacity and resiliency to act on your aspirations, to take charge of your life and realize your ideals. And more, you have the motivation and strength to contribute to a better future for us all. I know this to be true because I know SUNY Oswego has equipped you with the knowledge, taught you the skills, and trained you with experiences that will prepare you for years ahead. During your time here, you have been surrounded and challenged by diverse opinions and benefited from the exposure of many backgrounds and cultures. Your academic discipline gave you training to think critically about the world and to gather information from reliable sources before making decisions and taking actions. Many of you have chosen to share your time and talents as engaged campus and community leaders, where you have demonstrated your skill of leading with an ethical heart and just actions. You have also challenged yourself to be gritty, to get up when you're knocked down, and to reach out for help when in need, and in return, to look for others who may need assistance from you. You know that failure is temporary and that every day dawns with new possibilities if you look beyond the horizon. Winston Churchill said, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal, and it is the courage to continue that counts." You have achieved our mission at Oswego. You've worked tirelessly, I know that, and you've learned much. Your path ahead is brightly lit. Take the lessons and values and knowledge you have gained and apply them to all of your future endeavors. Remember, as you have learned during your time here, that choices that you make often shape the person you become. Also remember the trajectory of the life that you will follow may touch the future of others in ways you have yet to imagine. So today, as we exhort you to go out and make your dream come true, and you should follow your dream, please also be mindful that every decision you make, every action you take, leaves an impression on the sands of this earth and has an impact well beyond you. In a world that sometimes accommodates, approves of expediency in the pursuit of individual beliefs and personal gain, you forge your path. As you forge your path, make sure you leave what you leave are footprints representing not only your knowledge and your resolve, but make sure they represent your character and the compassion you have employed on the road to your success. Graduates, I contend that each of you is now ready to help transform our world for the better. I charge you now to embrace your hopes and remain engaged. Surround yourselves with diverse viewpoints, as you heard from our speaker, some friends, colleagues, community members. Challenge your own convictions and continue to be a researcher, a writer, a scholar, an innovator. Serve and include others, and in return, you will be nourished and enriched. The path ahead provides opportunities you never dreamed may be waiting for you. Don't merely survive, but thrive, as Maya Angelou said. The time is now for you to seize the future. Be confident, tenacious, but also be thoughtful and open. You are ready. Make your impact on the world. Congratulations and Godspeed.
Please stand while Angela Russell leads us in the singing of the Alma Mater. The words are printed on the back of the program and on the screens above. Please be seated. Families and guests are requested to remain in their seats until all the graduates have left the convocation hall. Immediately following the ceremony, you are invited to reunite with your graduate at a reception held in the tent north of the Marano Campus Center. Madam President, I declare the 156th commencement to be adjourned.